Attende Domine, et miserere, quia peccavimus tibi. A te rexume omnium Redemptor, oculos nostros sublevamus frentes, exaudi Christe supplicantum preces. Attende Domine, et miserere. Come back to me with all your heart. Don't let fear keep us apart. Trees to bend, though straight and tall, so must we to others now. Long have I waited for your coming, home to me and living deeply are you loved.
Good afternoon and welcome to Breaking Fast with me, Archbishop Jerome of Selsey. And here to offer, I hope, words of encouragement and motivation and inspiration to keep us all staying on the course with our Lenten observance. Now, I don't know how your day is going. Mine's been pretty full so far. Obviously, I had Mass this morning and then I had a very interesting meeting with the Home Office about far-right extremist groups in the UK. Then I had, I'm also a fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, so there was a event at lunchtime today, which of course I was able to go to because I'm fasting, and that was about tackling isolation and loneliness in society. So that was very interesting, very informative. Interesting actually to hear references made to the church and to the role of the church in society and Christianity historically, and then various voices trying to come up with alternative solutions in the present day. In other words, not churches, which was quite interesting, quite fascinating. Couldn't help but sort of think, well, why don't you just come back to church? And then following this at 3:30, so this is going to be a shorter programme today, as was originally conceived. After this at 3:30, I've got a meeting with the NHS commissioners for Sussex to discuss mass vaccination health inequalities. That's with my hat on as a representative of the Brighton and Hove Racial Harassment Forum and the BME community in the city. So that's a thrilling afternoon for me, I'm sure. I hope actually it's going to be very interesting because they've got some research information that hopefully they're going to share about the reasons why the BME take-up of the vaccinations, etc., hasn't been as high as other sectors of society. So that should be interesting. Now, today, of course, is the Thursday after Ash Wednesday. And today's stational church, which of course was reference was made to at Mass, because of course it's influenced the Mass, chiefly the Gospel, read the Centurion. So I'll play, because it's only a short video, I shall play the continuation of the pilgrimage series of stational churches in the Eternal City by the Catholic Traveller. Now hopefully this will work. So this is St. Giorgio in Velabro.
Our second stop on this Lenten station pilgrimage is the Church of St. George in Velabro. Lily, do you know what the word Velabro means?
Yes, I recorded this video like 6 times already.
What does it mean?
It means marshy land.
Marshy land. Right, and that is because we are just across from the Tiber River, and this area of Rome used to flood all the time, and so they had to build a sewer outside this church to drain the water from the marsh. Right? So, when the city would flood, there was a specific event that occurred. 2 little babies washed ashore, named Romulus and Remus. Do you know who Romulus is?
The founder of Rome.
That's right, he's the founder of Rome. Okay, so originally this church was dedicated to Saint Sebastian. Do you know Saint Sebastian?
He's the person who was killed by arrows.
Yes, killed by arrows. He was actually martyred just outside this church, and his body was thrown into the sewer. Pretty gross, huh? But now the church is dedicated to St. George, and it is today's stop. Let's have a look around. In the 8th century, this area of Rome was heavily populated with Greeks. The Pope at the time decided to move the relics of another Greek, a dragon named George, to this church. Today you can see the top of his skull under the main altar. Sometimes in Rome, if you're lucky, you'll come across a choral group performing in a church. Today was one of those days.
Well, there we are. So I will, I think, try to play every day the video that accompanies the blog post from the brightonoratory.org, where you can get all the information on the history on the stational church for every day. But I will just play the video every day, just because it's beautiful to see the churches and to see Rome. If you've been to Rome and if you're familiar with Rome, then you'll know why that appeals. So I will try to do that every day, but what I have to do that actually is I have to download the video. I have to make a pirate copy in order to play it, in order to improve the volume, because I noticed yesterday, playing back yesterday's broadcast, that the volume was very low indeed. So anyway, so Sant Giorgio in Velabro, and in case you didn't understand what the precocious little girl said at the beginning of that video, Velabro means marshes. And indeed, that spot is believed to be where Romulus and Remus, the two fabled founders of Rome, were discovered as babes in the marsh and brought up or dragged up by a wolf. But anyway, the important thing is, the point is that in St George's is housed the relic of the skull of St George the Great Martyr, who of course is our patron saint of England. And for whom the choice of the centurion in today's gospel was given. Now, I love the story of the centurion in Capernaum. I think what I love about it is the fact that Jesus is amazed at the faith that the centurion expresses. I think that's what has always fascinated and appealed to me. And also, too, of course, is the fact that the centurion's words were employed in the liturgy to be the faithful's response to the invitation to receive Holy Communion, to make that same acclamation of faith. Domine non sum dignus ut intre subtectum meum. Lord, I'm not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my soul shall be healed. Which, of course, we recite 3 times. And I just love the fact that that little bit of dialogue, that short event in the Gospel has reverberated, that centurion's response to Jesus has reverberated through the centuries since, because of course everyone who has attended Mass to receive Holy Communion for the best part of those 2,000 years has repeated those words of the centurion, with the hope, of course, that we might have the same level of faith, which of course was the point of this morning's Mass, to remind us that faith and prayer are the way in which we will deepen our relationship with God and prove our fidelity to him, and he his fidelity to us. So how is your second day of Lent going? Do feel free to say something in the comments. Let me know that you are actually there. I'm finding that if I keep myself busy, that although I am consciously aware of my body telling me that I'm hungry, I have to say, as long as I keep myself busy, then I'm doing okay. And busy in all sorts of ways. I've already explained the meetings I've got today, and I was also able, finally, to finish off this little snippet here, which I'm just going to play again because I'm very, very chuffed with it. Is that cool or what? Is that cool or what? And of course, I'm waiting because somebody very generously sponsored a new camera for my birthday, and it's taking ages to get here. Apparently, according to Amazon, it'll arrive on Sunday. But it's almost a month ago, or certainly 3 weeks ago, that it was ordered. So I'm hoping that then this picture will be clearer and sharper as well, so that we can improve the whole experience of it. Hi Shirley, yes, I'm drinking water as well, which sort of helps, just that what with the cold as well, it's I find I keep running, and especially because I'm conscious of meetings. So I've been several times to the comfort room today because of the amount of water I'm drinking, and because of being conscious of not being able to go when I'm in a meeting. So Nonetheless, these things, of course, we can offer up to God. What is this, perturbation? What is this slight discomfort or suffering compared to what Christ went through for our sakes? I've also been busy arranging things for Friday. So remember that tomorrow at 3 p.m., instead of breaking fast, will actually be Stations of the Cross. So I've been grabbing 5 minutes here and there to put that together as well, so that we'll be able to broadcast that online. We won't be in the chapel, so it won't be a case of me carrying the camera and moving it round, but I found some beautiful images for the stations that we will show on here, and as we hear the meditations. So that will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm still inspired, still encouraged, very motivated by Mass this morning. People are always funny about military connotations with Christianity, and yet in many ways those connotations do remind one of the spiritual battle that we're engaged in. People are generally averse to confrontation, and appreciably so. And of course, the gospel is essentially one of peace between people of goodwill. But when it comes to spiritual forces and the spiritual warfare, then the imagery and the iconography of people like Saint Sebastian, people like St. George, people like the centurion, these are all pertinent, and I think helpful, ultimately, reminding us that we should not fear those who can only harm the body, but Jesus tells us, fear him who can harm the body and consign the soul to hell. And that's an important aspect of Lent. Actually, is the spiritual battle, the warring against the temptations, which are not just about the flesh, but also about the soul. And I love the fact that we, of course, pray the prayer to St. Michael at the end of Mass, which is, you can pray that any time. You don't have to pray it just at the end of Mass. You can pray it any time during the day, especially when you feel tempted, when you feel temptation, perhaps. It's a good prayer to have memorized. Well, that sound was an alarm on my computer from the diary, reminding me that my next meeting is due to start soon. So, if you'll forgive me, I will take your leave. Please tune in tomorrow at the same time, but tomorrow, of course, will be for Stations of the Cross. Later, of course, today at 6 p.m. is the Angelus and Rosary, and later tonight is the Daily Examen at 10 p.m. So I look forward to seeing you all again then. Meanwhile, take care, and remember, God loves you.